We now live in a time where the word obesity has become more offensive than the condition itself. Hey, welcome back. If you like grounded commentary on some hot button issues and you like to hear a fat guy over the internet talk about things, well, then you're in the right place because that's all I do here. So please feel free to subscribe. So there's a video circulating right now involving Jillian Michaels. Jillian Michaels is a fitness, I don't know if I would call her an influencer, or I'm going to call her a fitness professional. And she was recently on, I think it was Jubilee, I think that's the thing, where they have one individual with one core belief, and then they're challenged by a bunch of other people that have different core beliefs on the certain issue. The issue here is body positivity and obesity. So I saw this video, and the first lady that comes in really does a disservice to arguing her points, because there's a second video that I'll show you that I think really does a way better job at talking about why it's a worthwhile discussion to have. First and foremost, here's where I sit on the fence. Obesity is a medical term. It's not a pejorative. It's a medical term. The reason I have extra weight in my face and my neck, and I got a little bit in my belly, the reason I do that is because I obviously do not exercise enough for the amount of calories that I put into my body. If I were to be in a caloric deficit, you would see this change. That is just biological factors. Now, there are different types of bodies, ectomorph, endomorph, enzomorph, and they are different. So yeah, you're going to get bigger people for sure. But obesity, in the definition of obesity, is inherently, in and of itself, not healthy. You could be a bigger person and be healthy. And using just BMI, any nutritionist worth their weight in salt will tell you that BMI is not the be all and end all. It is a metric. It is like, a 0.2, not a thing that's the standard. So the reason I bring that up is because I want you to listen to this lady. I want you to hear the things that she has to say, because for one, it's ludicrous. For two, I don't know how people think this way. But anyway, let's check it out.
That obesity is not healthy, and pretending it is puts lives at risk.
If you want to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, she's the master debater.
Nice to meet you.
I'm an eating disorder therapist. I'm going to do my best.
Eating disorder therapist. Okay, so she's an eating disorder therapist. First, can we just agree that she looks a lot like Christina Brzezinski, Tom Segura's wife, like so much like her? Why? I don't understand why she, like, at first I thought there was a bit. I thought this was a comedy bit, but it's not. This person's real. Just get ready.
Best to not use the O word, because I find it
the O word
pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat-bodied as we.
I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. If any of my buddies were like, hey, this is Matt, he's my fat-bodied friend, I'd be pissed, dude. Like, that's not better. That's actually worse. There's no way that's better. Hey, this is Carl. He's fat-bodied. Oh, hey, Carl. You want a burger? Oh, my God.
We talk.
Okay.
Do you understand why people find it harmful and triggering?
Overweight and obese is literally just having too much body fat. It has nothing to do with the quality of the person.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Are we going to debate the claim?
Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to clarify though the language.
Are we going to pretend like I'm a 3 and you're my mommy?
She comes out hot. Jillian Michaels comes out hot. Like, look at the face of Christina Brzezinski Timu. Like, she comes out hot. I will admit she does, but neither here nor there. Sometimes people you deal with come out a little spicy.
Telling me how to talk.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So the claim that you're saying is that it is inherently unhealthy to live in a fat body.
It's inherently unhealthy to have excess body fat, yes.
Okay. Where are you getting that information from?
Okay. There are dozens
My head's blocking it, but it comes up on the side.
that show having excess body fat. Dozens
World Health Organization is one.
correlated.
No, that's not true. There's no disease that just fat-bodied people get.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But obesity lends itself to all-cause mortality across the board. Have you heard of something called adiposopathy? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know it means literally sick fat. And you understand how it works? Mm-hmm. Okay, tell me how it works.
So it's an additional layer of fat in the stomach area.
No.
That's not what it is. It works as follows. When we eat too much food that has energy that we're not utilizing, the body needs to put that energy somewhere, right? So it puts it in fat cells. So it puts it in initially subcutaneous fat cells, a little bit of visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. And at first you have hyperplasia, which means we're recruiting new little fat cells, which isn't necessarily a bad thing up to a point. Now the issue is that once you can no longer recruit more fat cells, right, you get hypertrophy. So the fat cells start to expand.
Hypertrophy also actually going to hit you with a little medictoid here. Hypertrophy is something that also happens in the heart too. So if you're in a body carrying too much fat, okay, the heart has to work harder to perform normal body functions. The heart is a muscle, okay? So what happens when you work out a muscle? It gets bigger, right? It's hypertrophic. So with the heart, if you make the heart work way harder than it needs to for extended periods of time, i.e. over years, whatever, you will take those ventricles and you will build up their muscle and they will become hypertrophy, right? That's what they'll develop. And when they have hypertrophy, they have less blood in there to pump out into the system. Okay. So it is inherently not good. And it lends itself to other comorbidities as well. So Jillian Michaels is absolutely right talking about hypertrophy here, but it goes into other body processes that you would think a nutritionist or a diet therapist would understand. But unfortunately, she doesn't seem to understand, or she doesn't want to.
And this is exceptionally dangerous because what ends up happening is the blood vessels get outpaced. So the fat cells can't get oxygen and they start screaming, literally. And when they do, they release.
I understand why this person's shaking her head. Like, she's not saying anything wrong here. That person shaking their head, this is cognitive dissonance. This is just where you're hearing something that doesn't match your core belief and you don't want to accept it, even though there are factual values at play, that it can really mess with your worldview. That's what's happening here. That's why it's so uncomfortable.
Cytokines, inflammatory proteins, right?
I want to pause.
Oh, no, of course you do. I want to pause.
Okay.
So if anybody wants, like, if you want to argue in good faith and somebody says, "Want to pause?" Let him pause. Let him pause. Pause. Go ahead and pause. Okay, fine. Pause. Take your minute. All right. This is a very abnormal setting. You're standing there or sitting there in front of cameras. You have Jillian Michaels, who's talking about a public figure, and you have all these peers around you looking. It lends itself to the belief that, yeah, you may want to take a time out here and there. So I don't really love how Jillian did that. If you guys want to watch the whole thing, it's on YouTube. It is Obesity is Not Healthy and Pretending It Puts Lives at Risk. So it's called Jillian Michaels versus the Body Positivity Movement. If you guys want to check out the full video. But I wanted to talk about it because, listen, I said it before, obesity is not a pejorative. It's just a statement of fact. Okay. You're carrying too much fat. Okay. I am currently carrying too much fat. My BMI is probably around 30, right? Which is not good. Or my BMI, yeah, probably around 30%, right? Not good. Not a good measurement. Working on it. Yep, working on it. Give me 4 months and hopefully it'll be a little different. We'll come back to this video, circulate back. But I'm working on it because, I'm 43 years old now and I have 2 kids here at home. I'm step parent too, and I got my lovely Sheena, and I want to live a long, healthy life. And so I got to do some things to change some things around, change some habits. Not because somebody has shamed me, not because somebody has said something that hurts my feelings, and not because I feel like, hey, my body's my body, I can live in it. That is true to a sense. But if you can improve your body, if you can be a healthier version of you, why wouldn't you want to? right? That's like somebody who's mentally unwell and just be like, well, that's their mental state. That's their mental well-being. Just let them be unwell. You know, it's mental unwellness, positivity. Like, it's not. There's nothing wrong with challenging the inherent unhealthiness of carrying too much body fat. So the fact that the term obesity, which God, I find it so offensive. I don't give a shit what you find offensive. Being offended doesn't make you right. Okay, so and this is the one that I wanted to come back and let you listen to, because to me it makes a little bit more of a cohesive argument here. But check this one out.
I'm curious about what your definition of body positivity is, because you're talking about shame and you're talking about personal feelings and emotion, and I have a little bit different of a definition of body positivity.
Some of yours.
When I think about the body positivity movement, I actually think about its roots in the fat rights movement, which is where I work.
In the 60s,
right?
yeah.
And when I think about the folks who have been using that terminology since the 70s, 80s, 90s, not just the people who kind of popped up using it, but that it has this long, long history. Mm-hmm. That long, long history is actually about body justice.
I know.
It's not just about individual feelings.
So that's great, right? You can bring out that there's a history to it. Okay, that history exists. That history happened. That history is not ongoing. That history is not currently active. Okay. Medical's come a long way. Society's come a long way. Everything's come a long way. You can't conflate what happened back then and the lack of knowledge and lack of understanding to the abundance of knowledge and understanding that we have now, and try to conflate that to try and say being fat is healthy, because it's not. It's not healthy.
It's not just about my mother-in-law said something to me at dinner, or this guy didn't want to date me because I was fat. It's actually all
Personal preferences, right? It hurts. I asked out a few girls in my day, back in grade school, high school, whatever. And I had glasses. You've seen my face. I'm not what you would call a handsome guy. I'm just a dude. I wasn't their flavor. Okay. They had every right to say no, and they did say no. And that's okay. It happens. So if somebody just doesn't really like a bigger body, well, that's their preference. They're allowed to have that without being castigated. But in the body positivity movement, that's not okay. But it is.
Also about things like, do I have access to healthcare? Do I have access to equal pay? Do I have accommodations for the body that I'm in right now, 100%. Not the body that I might be in someday? And so
those are great points right there. Those are real points. Okay. Because we do all live in different socioeconomic backgrounds. We do all have different life stories. And so being a bigger person, right, if your metabolism's slow, or if you have thyroid issues or whatever the case might be, that makes you bigger than you might ordinarily want to be, access to healthcare, huge. You need access to healthcare. Absolutely. You need access to equal pay, and you should be paid equally, 100%. And yeah, it's good to be accommodated for where you're currently at now, as opposed to where you would like to be. Those are all great points, and those are all things that we as humans should be able to look at and go, yeah, hey, I understand where you're coming from. Those arguments right there don't change the core belief that being big is unhealthy. Having too much body weight is unhealthy. So I found those points really, really great. And honestly, way stronger than that nutritionist that came out at the beginning.
So I think about these systemic disenfranchisements and discriminations that happen to people, especially people in larger bodies. Yep. And when I want to...
And absolutely, there is discrimination for people in larger bodies, for sure. I mean, people want to see, like, body positivity wants to see, like, bigger superheroes, like, more unhealthy looking superheroes, a bit of a midsection, whatever. Like, listen, you're supposed to strive to something. These things are ideals to strive for. Only 0.01% of us probably are ever going to look even remotely close to Brad Pitt, okay? Or Russell Crowe in Gladiator. These things aren't easily attainable, and they shouldn't be easily obtainable, because they are really hard work to get into. We're not all Alan Richardson, okay? And that's fine. I'm never going to be on the front cover of a magazine. I was born with the face I got, okay? It doesn't matter how jacked I get, I still have the face I have. That's how it is, okay? It doesn't mean that there's a problem with society. There are many problems with society, but it doesn't mean that I need to walk around with a chip on my shoulder.
Embrace body positivity. It's more than just that personal self-esteem piece.
Right.
But what you seem to be talking about is the personal self-esteem
Not
piece.
true. That's not just what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to disagree with you on any of what you just said. I'm well aware of where this started. And it was, I think, a gentleman that was pretty upset about how his wife was being treated, right? And he started it.
How'd you know that origin story?
Yeah. Anyway, definitely worth checking out the video. It is a good video. And there are some really good points made on both sides. But look, hey, at the end of the day, if you're carrying too much adipose tissue, that's unhealthy. Okay. If you're a bigger person and you're in a bigger body, hey, you could be as healthy as a fiddle, man. There's plenty of bigger people out there that are really, really healthy. That's not the core argument. The core argument within this context is that obesity itself is not offensive. There should be no reason to not say that word. It is a medical definition. It is not inherently offensive. It's not a pejorative. 2, if you have extra adipose tissue, like myself, it's not healthy. Let's work on it.